Welcome to the first in this series of marketing podcasts for business, Marketing Mix.
Marketing Mix. Online marketing for businesses. Find out more at www.marketingmix.news.
Welcome again. This is the first in a series of monthly podcasts for business aimed at business marketing online. Who is this podcast for? Well, it's for any size of business from startup to multinational. If you're not being found online, then this podcast over the next few months will help you get your business found online. And the overall goal is to increase the revenue of your business from online marketing and online activity. It will also look at the latest news, advice, guidance and information from the online marketing world, as well as looking back and checking that the classic forms of marketing are applied for your website, for your online marketing and for your business. To get your website found on the internet whenever people search for you. And that means if you're a small business or say you're even a sole trader. We will also look at your website marketing in terms of 3 columns or pillars, which are be found, be chosen, and increase revenue. And the first leads through to the second, and the second leads through to the third. But the ultimate goal is to increase revenue, but we can't do that if you're not being found in the right places online. So by being found, what do we mean? Well, we need to get your website and your online presence found for the right search terms, and I'll use the word straight away, keywords, which we'll come on to explain, which isn't as simple or as complicated as some people might think it is. Being chosen is around getting your website, once it's found on search engines, being the one that is chosen by website visitors. And the last one is increase revenue, which is to convert those website visitors to paying customers, and that's how we'll increase your revenue. So who is this for? Who will benefit from this series of podcasts? Well, it's aimed at business. So any business worldwide will benefit from this podcast. If you're a small trader or a sole trader, so being found for you probably means being found for about 10 to 20 search terms in your local geographical area. An example of that would be if you're a plumber in Bristol, then being found for plumber, emergency plumber, leaking tap, all of those with a Bristol location. So if I search emergency plumber Bristol, where is your website? Where is your digital presence? And what we'll aim to do is get you to the top of the first page of Google so that you are there visible for people searching for you. If you're a small, medium or even a large company, consider this. Where is your business now if I search for your products or services in my local area? So even if you're a multinational, what I mean by that is if you're selling a widget and I do a search on the internet for widget in United Kingdom or Birmingham or in the Southwest or in the Midlands, are your products being found? And if they're not, regardless of the size of your company, then you will benefit from the Marketing Mix podcast series. Being chosen is around once you're in the search engines out at the top of page 1, is getting your website the one that people choose to click through onto. And it's the smallest part of it because the hardest part, first of all, is getting you on the first page of Google. And then, of course, the more difficult part is increasing revenue. But we'll cover these and satisfy those as we go through the podcast. If it was easy just to increase revenue, you'll have done it already. If you had the budget to outsource being found, getting your website to the top of Google through an SEO company or an SEO expert, you would have done so already. So these podcasts are going to be generally good information for corporate managers, IT managers, website managers, but it's going to be absolutely vital information if you're a smaller business with a one-man band or 2 or 3 people or a shop, because we will get your business found. We will get more people through your door. We will get more people telephoning you. So who am I? Who is this person putting himself forward as an expert in marketing, and why should you listen to the podcast over the next few months. My name's Martyn Lenthall. I have over 10 years experience in marketing and online marketing and digital presence. This was done previously with a national company in the UK called Yell, or most people would know them as Yellow Pages. However, they do have a big yellow book that goes through the door of every home, but they also have a huge digital marketing team that build websites, do pay-per-click advertising, and they have their own directory called yale.com. And my role was as a senior manager in the Southwest region, which was a unique position to be in, because I was in a position where I could try and manage upwards and look at the digital products and help improve them. But I was also out every day talking to businesses, all sorts of businesses in every type of market and every type of owner, marketing manager, director, chief executive. So I would sit with these people on a daily basis and discuss with them their marketing needs, how they were getting their customers, how they were finding their customers, how their customers were finding them, how they were converting them, and we would help them try to get more. So 10 years of sitting day in, day out at the coalface with customers, you learn an awful lot of best practice. But the other side is we helped an awful lot of businesses grow their revenue and increase their customer base. Over the next few months, we will be mainly looking at websites, because that's the start of it all. If we can get people back to your website, if we can get them back to a place which is just about you, just about your products and services, then they're more likely to buy from you. But we will also look at social media, how to use social media to increase your brand awareness, to increase your customer base and ultimately grow revenue. We will look at the benefits of pay-per-click and Google advertising or Google AdWords, and is that right for your business? Because it can be done on a very small budget, it can be very cost effective. We will look at social media marketing, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all these things that can help rank your business higher in the search engines, but also again create this brand awareness where in your local area, regardless if your local area is a small village through to your local area being the United Kingdom or a state in the United States, we will get it where your business is the only choice. It's the logical choice for people when they're searching for your type of services or business. So what are we looking at today? Well, the first thing I would like you to consider, and I appreciate that you may be walking the dog, sat in your car, and you're not likely to be in front of a computer, but if you are, or when you are, what I would like you to do is a series of tasks to find out where you are in the marketing mix, where your presence is online at the moment. Now, I first of all want you to find out what people search for when they're looking for your products or services, but I don't want you to ask yourself, because in my 10 years experience of speaking to businesses, they have a view in their mind of what people would search for when they're looking for their business, and it's very often, and I would say 90% of the time, completely incorrect. And I'll give you an example. If you're moving house and you want a company to come out and collect your furniture and move it from one house to another, you might call that a removal company. And if you were sitting with a removal company, and I've done this many, many times, you sit with a removal company and say, what do you think people would search for? What are the 5 search terms that people would search for looking for your business? Everybody searches for, so if they're in Gloucester, a removal company in Gloucester. And yet, when you use some very powerful and free, but very powerful tools that Google supply, you will find that removal company gets about 1/10 of the traffic from the actual search terms that people are using to find their business. So we'll cut a long story short, but removal company, I'll make the figures up because I don't have them in front of me, but let's say removal companies across the whole of the UK gets 1,000 searches a month. That's not bad, but how many of them were in Gloucester? Removal companies get 6,000. So just a simple change in the website where it's got removal company throughout, or throughout the digital advertising, changing it to removal companies would get you 6 times more traffic. But actually the number one search term, the best search term for that marketplace is man with a van. it gets 14,000 searches a month. So 14 times more potential visitors to your website, 14 times more potential customers, just by changing the wording that you would use on your website and on your digital marketing. And it's normally when we did this exercise, the first thing the removal company owner would say is, but we're not a man in a van company, we're a removal company. And it would almost hurt their feelings that I would suggest they advertise as a man with a van. And I would say to them, well, if I had a small house, 2-bedroom terrace that I was moving from, would you not do my removal? And of course they'd always say yes. And I say, well, how would you do it? Because I wouldn't need a big lorry. And they always say, every time they would say, oh, I'd send a man in a van. So it's not about the search terms and keywords that you think people will search to find your business or your close family and friends, because they're probably in the same mindset as you, that people will search a removal company. So the task I'm going to give you as we draw this first podcast to an end is the next 5 inquiries you get, ask the person where they got your number from. Not how they found you, where they got your number from. And they'll say your website, they'll say from a friend, they'll say from a relative, they'll say from a phone directory, say. If they say your website, so that's interesting. What did you put into the search engine to find us? And you will get a variety of answers. It may be best removal companies in Gloucester. It may be man with a van. But it will give you a broader sense of what people are searching for when they're looking for you. And the next thing you can do is, next time you're out and about and you're with not your wife or your family or your husband, but people less connected with the business, is to ask them to get their phone out and say, if you were moving house in our example, what would you search for to find a company to do it? And don't give them any more clues than that. And just see what they type in. Now, they may type in removal company Gloucester. You might find they then go, I don't like those results, or I wasn't looking for that. And then they'll do another search, and it's that's that next search that you want your business to be found for. And try and compile a list of at least 5, but nearer the 20 you can get, the better. And during our next podcast, we will analyze those keywords, and I'll show you how to use a free tool, very powerful free tool that Google supplies to check those keywords against the search traffic. And it will also give you suggestions on the keywords you should be using. And then over the next series of podcasts, we will be looking at our website and how to integrate those keywords into them, how to use that on social media, and how to use those keywords to get your website found. I've been Martyn Lenthall. This has been The Marketing Mix. Please subscribe to our channel, and we will speak to you again next time.
Marketing Mix. Online marketing for businesses. Find out more at www.marketingmix.news.